海賊王になる男だ。
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Cali Mac on the track. Never whack, bring it back, and we are back with Trash Set Down episode 161.
Let's go.
Sir.
Nigga made bird noises like Shaq and they're like Hawks.
Yo, chill.
Just call me off, bro.
I'm here with the gang as usual. We got the whole gang in attendance. You love to see it, feel me?
Yes, sir.
My boy Mr. G in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's good, y'all? Few shout outs. Shout out to my boy JJ, whose birthday was the 23rd, as well as my younger sister. So happy birthday to you guys. I love you guys.
Nice. Happy birthday.
So it was nice celebrating them the last few days. So yeah.
All right. We also have Stroy in the building. My guy. What's going on, brother?
What's good, y'all? Just shout outs to same actually. Like Mr. got a couple of friends' birthday this weekend, so shout outs to them.
Hype.
And still shout out to our Captain Cali, his birthday too.
Hell
as
yeah.
well.
Sir.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, gotta shout that out as well.
Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. And other than that, bruh, this chapter. This chapter.
Yeah.
This chapter.
We got a lot to
my
talk about.
goodness.
We got a lot to talk about today. We
Yeah.
definitely got a lot to talk about today. I do appreciate the shout out. Much love. My birthday was last Tuesday. Spent it with some family, you know what I mean? With my girl actually. Who's basically like family. That's my baby right there. I can't lie.
Yes.
That's what's up, bro. That's
Yeah,
what's
she
up.
got you. She got you the gas. The One
wait,
Piece
hold
Lakers.
on. Oh my god, wait.
Bro.
Let me introduce YS while I go show off my thing. YS in the building. Go do your thing.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? I'm chilling. I feel like I'm just filler now, but I'm super hyped for this chapter. There's so much to talk about, man. There's so much like stuff from that we maybe guessed a little bit before or like paused it and talked about. So the chapter's gonna bang. I don't really have too many shout outs. The NBA has been cool. I've just been chilling, man. Just getting that bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So real quick before we start, my girl, the amazing person that she is, knows that I love One Piece. So she held me down with this t-shirt, official t-shirt from the One Piece Lakers game.
Nah.
I think they
That
only
is
shot
sick.
out a certain amount of these shits to the crowd or whatever. So like,
Yo.
this shit
Nah,
is
dude,
OD.
that's
I'm not
crazy.
gonna lie.
Nah,
Got the
Luffy
official.
Tomahawk
OD.
jam.
Nah,
This shit is so
Cal, you're gonna have to put a
gas.
ring on it, bro. Cause my wife even tried getting it, and she's like, "Nah, she's a real one." Cause my wife tried dumb hard to get it. So like, that's crazy.
That's elite, bro.
Yeah, my baby held it down. Shout outs to her. I love you, girl.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, it was lit. Yeah, it was a good birthday though. Definitely a good birthday.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, all right, let's get into the chapter though, because we got this shit was crazy. I can't lie. This
Yeah,
shit was absolutely crazy. A lot of shit happened, and yeah, we gotta talk. Yeah, let's go right into it. Chapter 1149, 1 second. We start this chapter off where the last chapter ended with Scopper Gaban coming in to save the day. Sliced off Summer's hand. Everybody's in shock and amazement. You can see, I saw Nami's separate reaction when I first read it, and it didn't click to me, but she's seen him before.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, it's you," and everybody else like, "Who the fuck?"
Yep.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, I don't think she heard the Mountain Eater story, so I think they know who Scopper Gaban is, but don't know that's him. And
Yeah.
Nami has seen this guy, but doesn't know that
Doesn't know that it's Scopper Gaban, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So Scopper eviscerates Summer, or at least his hand, at the very least. Usopp's shocked because, of course, nobody's been able to hurt these guys before, so somebody's finally been able to do some damage. Gaban turns around to deal another blow, but Summers uses his thorn powers to make them into sticks to block with. I don't know. Regardless, it blocks Gaban's punch, axe slice.
Yeah.
I
It's
guess
kind of like Usopp's bamboo shoot, but with thorns
Yeah.
popping up,
yeah.
using it for defense.
Yeah, you can see they're hockeyed up too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is Summers back flipping back, right? In this bottom right panel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's on the defense.
Yeah, he's on the back foot. Wants to know why Gaban is in Elbaph. Gaban's like, fuck all that shit, and just keeps rushing him and continues to slash at him with attacks.
Oh, Callie, before you continue, you gotta You gotta name him properly, bro. He calls him Mountain Eater, bro. You
My
gotta
fault,
put
my
the
bad.
respect on his name,
My bad,
dude.
Gaban. My bad, Gaban. The Mountain Eater, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So meanwhile, while they're fighting, the Straw Hat crew that is currently incapacitated gets they communicate with each other what they know about Gaban, so they fill each other in. So Namina knows who it is, as well as them knowing he's on the island. Yeah. Chopper's in dude, who's Soul, thank you. Yo. Yo, oh my goodness. Chopper's in Soul's beard and recognizes that Gaban has once again been one of the first people to damage one of these holy knights. Robin's still incapacitated. She tries to use a devil fruit to try and do something, but Jinbei tells her you shouldn't do it because thorns, hands, not a good combo. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, definitely bad matchup.
Yeah. Summers is unleashing hell on Gaban, launching him with thorns and vines and all this stuff. Gaban is not having any of it though. Slices all the thorns, runs at Summer. Summer says, "Come on," and then he gets sliced clean off the top, like into absolutely insane. He almost lands on thorns as well, but he uses his axe to perpetuate himself over the thorns. Continue on his way. Yeah, now this. You feel me?
That's how you're feeling?
Yeah, nah, this is crazy. This panel is nuts. I can't lie. He got sliced clean into. What are we thinking?
I was like, yo, he's dead.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, yo, it's over. He killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. Gaban keeps going on his way. Everybody's in shock, of course, because he just saw this guy get sliced in half. And Chopper, with the first actual play of the arc from my boy, decides, this guy's the only one that can hurt these guys. I should follow him. And so he does.
Let's go, bro.
W Chopper play.
I feel like I haven't seen that form of his in so long, by the way. I don't know if I'm doing
No, he did. No, he did earlier when they were on the bridge.
Yeah.
Nami was sitting on him. Yeah, because the bridge planks were too big, so he was just jumping over.
You're right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the library, unfortunately, the librarian Ange has been forced to set fire to the library. So we see a lot of the library and its consonants on fire. We see Ange crying. And then
you remember her name? That's crazy.
I do.
That's crazy.
I do.
It's because he thinks she's evil on the low or something, right?
I remember when he first met her, Callie's like, she's the evil one.
That might be it. I'm not gonna lie. It's close to my girlfriend's name too. Her name's Angie, so it's easy to remember. I can't count.
I think this is the school burning.
Yeah,
yes,
is it?
School.
Oh, I thought it was the library.
Yeah. I think that's what he's about to do.
Because that's where the kids are.
The other building. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's aiming at the library in this bottom left panel. Okay, that makes sense. And then he starts to burn it here. Robin sees from her spot on the away from where they're at and starts crying. Soul's incapacitated. It's looking grim right now. Chief Yarul is crying. Fake tears, but he is crying. He is crying.
What?
Killingham reports that the building is now officially on fire. This causes the little girl, her name I don't remember, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Rania, I think.
Yeah.
It's spelled Ranja, but I think it's Rania.
Okay.
Rania.
Ranya's crying and she apologizes for being alive and apologizes that she made everything burn because of her. Yo, I love this character. I can't lie. This is one of my favorites. I can't lie. She's the GOAT. Yeah. As she's doing that, none other than Gaban, the Mountain Eater himself, appears to try and save the day. This time, he definitely looks a little bit more serious. The kids are right here. He says, you guys don't have the right to take any of these things. Culture, history, children, troops. Gunko's surprised at his appearance as well. Crewmate of the King of the Pirates. everybody, all the kids notice that it's Gaban, including Colin. Gaban kind of just hopes that Colin doesn't recognize or give it away. But of course, Colin yells out, "Dad! That's my dad! Hey, Dad!"
Like, bro.
Yeah.
When I read that, I had a big ass face palm. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like,
It is unfortunate. It is a little bit irritating, but he is a kid, so can't put too much blame on him.
He's a kid seeing his dad in action, which you don't see too often either.
Yeah.
You know, so.
yeah, true.
Yeah, so Goko recognizes this and immediately storms towards Colin, and points her arrow blade needle, whatever, at, or it's a rapier, sword.
Yeah, it is a rapier. Yep.
Rapier.
Nah, you're in your back, bro.
Yo, I'm trying, bro. I had more. I was gonna keep going too. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's do it, bro. Not a chapter's not over, bro.
Yeah, but she points it at his neck. She's like, "So you don't mind if I kill him?" And Gaban realizes that this is his last chance, and if he attacks Gunko, he can save the children and Elbaph in the process, as long as he can do it quick. He tells Colin to hang in there. He's a big, strong boy now. Colin says, "Okay, I'm a warrior." Gunko says, "All right." Gets ready to slice Colin in the neck, and as Gaban storms into action, he has a flashback reminding him of Colin's birth with Ripley. Where he calls Colin his lifelong treasure. As he's doing this, Ripley yells out for Colin to be safe, and Gunko like starts to pierce Colin. You see the blood start coming out.
Oof.
Yeah, we see Gaban full dad rage mode, looking like Kuma in that punch against Saturn.
Yes.
Full dad rage mode. He's like, I have to put a stop to this. But then he sees, I don't know, is this future sight or
He
is
sees the
this
future,
just...
yeah.
This
He
is
does.
future, absolutely future sight.
He was too late.
The first time I read the panel, I thought Oda lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, because there's no way.
Yeah.
This panel is crazy, even for a fucking Flash. Like, this is nuts, yo.
Yeah.
But he sees Gunko put the sword straight through Colin's neck. Colin's still yelling he'll be strong, and Gaban just falls. He says, "Don't do it. I yield. I'm sorry, Elbaph."
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he sacrifices himself to save his son. Gunko uses the opportunity to shoot off 2 arrows that fire straight through the old man's chest.
Oh, 3 arrows.
3 arrows. I couldn't even see that third one. Yeah.
She EX that bitch.
Yo. Yeah, these go straight through his chest, cause him to fall off the tree and into the abyss below.
And the whole time he's falling, he's not even worried about himself. He's like,
"Into hell."
I'm sorry, Colin.
Yeah,
like, he must have heard. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie. The flashback panel got me where he's like my lifelong treasure. Like in this read right now, I was like, oh fuck, bro, shit. I feel it way more now when the first time I read the chapter.
Yeah, this shit definitely hit. I think Gaban, if Colin wasn't a factor, would Gaban have smoked Gunko?
Oh, he would have killed her, brother.
I remember when, at the beginning of this, once we saw the Holy Knights, I was like, the only way that they're going to be able to beat Gaban is by going through Colin, whether they
I do remember that.
You know what I mean? So like, this is the only way. This is how you take out the strongest player, right?
Yeah.
To now have Luffy be the one to step up, and now him going down to hell, I'm pretty sure he's gonna end up meeting up with Luffy. Maybe have his final. If he's dying, maybe his final words with Luffy and Zoro and Sanji. Who knows?
You think he could die here?
I hope not, but I mean, if things are getting serious, you know what I mean. Like Oda showed his kid almost getting killed. Like that panel was crazy. So it's a possibility. I feel like Gunko's not trying to let anyone live, especially fucking Gaban. Like this is the one motherfucker that could stop everything from working for them.
Yeah, I actually didn't even think about that. He's falling down to the underworld where Luffy and them are. It's definitely a possibility.
Plus, with the chopper there is gonna be someone to like we see chopper jump after him. There's gonna be someone to like fill the guys below in like what's been going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that's Chopper jumping after him in that last
Yeah,
panel.
Yeah.
Yo,
Second
I
last
didn't
one,
even
yeah.
see that.
Oh.
Holy shit. Yo.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That-
he's living,
Yeah,
bro.
he's
Yeah,
living.
Chopper's gonna save him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's living, and Chopper is going to beat Chopper and Gaban going to fill Luffy and them in, and they going to like try to scurry up there ASAP.
Oh, they're finally
after
gonna
that.
get the secret of how to beat these guys too.
Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
if Gavan's awake to tell him. I don't know if he will be.
Well, I mean, that's where Chopper comes in, right? The doc, you got, and then you got the other doctor for the new giants down there as well. So that two doctors. Dude, I
But-
mean,
but
you at least take out Gaban. If he's up enough, he could probably tell Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, hopefully, how to take out these guys. Because not even
That would
Loki
be
knows how
hype.
to.
Yeah,
And Loki's
Yeah.
there too. So
Damn.
That would be hype.
I'm so mad I didn't notice that before because it's so small. And then when I was reading it the first time, it was on my phone, so it was even smaller. I'm mad I didn't notice that.
there's something else that I noticed, but I want to finish the chapter first before I bring it up.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, let's get to the last page. Yeah, because this one shit starts getting absolutely crazy. Absolute crazy ending for a chapter because it was definitely exciting before this. But yeah, this is where things turn.
Okay, actually I'll say it after. But I completely agree with you.
Yeah. So Colin yells out dad. I'm not gonna say daddy, I'm not gonna lie to you. Colin yells out dad. And then Gunko hears that word and has a flashback to her yelling father. And then she gets confused. She's like, what is this memory? And in this memory, we see a tall swordsman with an afro say, yo ho ho. Well, it's my dream to be a pirate, you see? Yeah.
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 As she's having this flashback, we turn back to Brook, who says this resemblance is uncanny as the rest of the Straw Hats are trying to figure out a way to escape. Usopp yells at Brook to think of a way to escape as he says that, and he's like, "Oh, my bad." And then Gunko remembers the name Brook.
Mm-hmm.
She runs to Brook and says to yell out, "Are you Brook?" As she does this, before she can get to Brook, something happens to her. We see some type of noise, something happens. We see Summers saying ow, so we know he's alive. And we hear words being projected. What is taking so long? At this point, we see that Killingham realizes this is Emu himself speaking. Emu says, at this moment, the Holy Land is a sea of fire. We need greater numbers. Allow Mu to show you the dominance of God.
Bruh.
We realize that it is Gunko through which Emu is speaking through.
I do think the parts before were all in their head, like a collective. They're all
at the
connected
beginning,
type of shit.
Yeah. That kind of text is like definitely the Discord call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and that's how the chapter ends.
Yeah, this shit was absolutely crazy.
So many crazy things, man. The Holy Land is a sea of fire. So how much time has passed?
Between,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, since Egghead.
Like how long have they been there already?
But this happened probably. Okay, do we assume that they teleported from the Holy Land the first time they got here?
You're talking about killing it or all of the Holy Lands?
Shamrock the first. So when Shamrock and Gunko got here,
they couldn't have been coming from the Holy Land, because if the Holy Land was what it was, then they probably wouldn't have sent Shamrock at the very least. At least I don't think they would have.
That's kind of what I'm saying. That in the sense that like.
So even his time here, just that brief time here, like talking to Loki.
Shit might have popped off. Yeah, in this little time frame. Because Kali, what you said, they wouldn't have sent him here if it was already popping off. So if you see that, means shit wasn't popping off.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, Kali, I think it might be your boy, bro. I think it might be Dragon. I think the moment they realize fucking Shamrock and Gunko leaving the Holy Land, especially Shamrock, they bounced to Elbaph, that's when the fucking revolutionaries made their move. Because
I think
because
you're right.
the last time we saw Dragon, he said we're waiting for the Holy Knights to make their move. That's the first move by them
Yeah, you're
leaving to go to
right.
Elbaph.
No, you're entirely right, Mister. And we know that they're under siege right now. That's why they lack food, because the revolutionaries are cutting
Yes.
off their
Their
food
supply.
supplies, and they have all their supply lines like held down. So we already know that this was there. Like they've been going after them for a little bit. So they probably escalated it. And also last time we saw Lafitte from the Blackbeard crew, he was looking at a port under like near
Yes.
Saboti. So there's a lot of chaos that can happen because he's near there too. Like the Holy Land could be. She's crazy, bro. She's nuts.
No,
I ain't gonna
it is.
lie, that sounds nice, man. That sounds real nice.
my man has lost all
That
faith.
sounds real
But man,
nice, man.
I think he's just real skeptical of any dragon.
Until I see Dragon on my
That's fair, that's fair.
channel doing some shit. I don't, because even like it's not even like the Revolutionary Army in general hasn't been making moves over the past however many arcs. Like we just saw what they did at Mariwa. So it's not I have no doubt that could very possibly be the Revolutionary Army. I want to see Monkey D. Dragon himself on the front lines, commanding wind, thunder, lightning, whatever his shit is. I need to see it, bro. I gotta see it.
No, it's
I gotta
true.
see
But
it.
what, out of curiosity, what else could it be? What else could it mean for the Holy Land to be in the Sea of Fire? Like who else?
I think it's either
is
him
doing that?
or possibly Blackbeard, because like you said, Lafayette is not in the vicinity, but we know that they're.
I think Lafitte's style is not, because it's just Lafitte. It's not any of the Blackbeard crew unless they moved really fast, which obviously it's a big possibility.
That's why I was leaning towards, like
And also we
maybe.
got Sabo too.
Yeah, because if it's the Blackbeard, it's gonna be a lot of them. If they're causing a sea of flame, it's definitely like at least a good amount of them.
Yeah.
But I actually think for a lot of reasons, Blackbeard is coming to Elbaph this arc. I'm sure of it. So I think I agree with Mist. I think the Revolutionary Army is probably escalating their attack. And again, it literally correlates perfectly with what he said about the Gods Knights and mobilizing. Like that's when the real fight starts.
Yeah.
It just makes a lot of sense.
Because like, yeah, because like we don't know. Like they've been watching them the whole time. They are somehow monitoring them. Things popped off. That's why Shamrock went back, right? So we know some passage of time happened there. But even with Shamrock back, things are still going crazy. So, and the fact that Emu's asking for the other three to already be done and be on the front line, like it's either that or I don't know. Like my two-piece brain is like, what if Akainu, like, cause with fire and stuff, what if he like snapped and he's fighting them? But I doubt that. Like I don't know. It's just
You think
so
a
many.
Sea of Fire could potentially be literal and not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
figurative, flowery speech, poetic
Yeah.
speech of what's
I see
going
the
on?
vision. I definitely see the vision. I just think there's.
But I just don't. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
I wouldn't know the motive because I mean they have no reason to, as of right now. But just man, and also the fact that now we also have confirmation of Emu. Like they're all, even the Holy Knights are all connected with Emu to some extent. Like their base
Yeah,
power, like
hearing
they
their voice.
teleport,
Yeah.
the connection, even the immortality. So that's all connected to Emu, and the fact that Emu could take over them, a Holy Knight, is pretty crazy. I'm curious why Emu didn't do that with the Gorosei.
Do we think that that's an ability that she can just do? They can just do to any Holy Knight.
Definitely.
I definitely think so. I think Gunko is being made as an example, but actually, you know what? I can't even 100% say because even Gunko's whole thing is kind of weird, even for a Holy Knight. Like she seems like the only one, like Huss mentioned a couple of chapters ago, is the only one that seems like lost well, now we know it's like some weird thing with her memory. Yeah. And then on top of that, like she's the only one that doesn't have like a official celestial last name. So it might not be with everyone. It might be something specific with her, maybe. But
okay.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that as well. I feel like
I see the vision, and also thank you for crediting me on the Gunko stuff. Which I will get back to. But I think the thing is you guys remember the episode that they showed recently with Cobra? Actually, I guess it wasn't that recent. Cobra dying to Emu. We heard Imu's voice, right? And it was like a man, female, like kind of double voice thing.
Yeah.
I think this whole thing about the devils thing, like how they, when we saw the Goros, they didn't have their devil fruit names. They just showed the demon form name, right? They just said whatever their name. I don't remember any of them at this point, but I feel like, and then when we saw they saw the circle in the castle this arc, I think Nami or Roto were like, yo, these are some like black magic shit you see in books, right? And then obviously with the Brook summoning in the time skip, the long arm people were trying to summon him, right? I think a lot of this like demonic stuff is gonna.
Bro.
I feel like the person that was Imu Nerona in the 20 such a drag or world guys that made the original alliance to beat the Ancient Kingdom, I feel like they were taken over originally. I feel like this devil shit happened to them, and I think it's just something Imu or like the demon that is Imu right now can do. So I think I don't think Gunko is like special in that sense. I just think he chose to use Gunko, maybe because she's the strongest run right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
or it depends on her location where they found her, like what they took over. Like if it's like a land that was taken over, you know. Ma, you gonna say something?
oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, it is entirely possible that Oda is using Gunko as like a showing of what Emo could do, and possibly he could just do this with everyone, but Gunko's just being made as an example of or whatever.
Maybe
for
especially
the
because
moment.
maybe because her connection with Emu broke at that moment, and then she's able to, Emu was able to like retake over and like
Yeah, that might have
really
been why he picked her, because
shut
he's
down.
like, yo, the
Yeah,
fuck, the brainwashing rubbing off.
because of,
Or something.
yeah, because of the PT, well, whatever she went through before, she yelled for her father, and clearly we see that it might be Brook, right? There's a possibility that she might be the daughter of Brook, and that's why she's always listening to music. Or another thing is, 'cause I know we're talking about holy knights, how Brook might be a holy knight. What if she's the princess of that land, right? And it was taken over, and Emu has been.
You mean like
I
Royal
guess-
Knight of a random kingdom, right?
Yes,
Yeah, it was the random
yeah,
kingdom.
yeah.
That's the common theory I've been seeing.
Well, it's like not even really a theory, right? Like he said it to Luffy when he first.
No, about her being the princess of that land, and Brook being the
I like
knight.
that more, by the way, because she doesn't say, "Are you dad?" She says,
yeah, she's like Brook.
Yeah, Brook. No, yeah. So there's that, right? The fact that now that you brought up the fact that he got, remember when he got summoned by the demon circle? Another example. Holy Knight being
you're
transported there
sick.
because he was the closest one, maybe, and that's why he got transported. There's that, and also the fact. Look at his weapon. He has a rapier. Shamrock, the other, the Thorn guy, Summers, they have rapiers. Gunko just now earlier holding, like Callie said, what was she holding? A rapier to Colin's neck, right? So I believe all the Holy Knights, like that is their weapon, a rapier or in some form.
I think
Like,
Killingham uses a trident though.
yeah. I mean that's where the theory ends. But I mean, like,
But
regardless,
even then, like
so
I think
three of them.
her and Brooke is enough of a connection to be like, whoa,
Yeah.
like that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. I think
Yeah,
something
so-
you said earlier was that they called Shamrock back, and Emu was like, nah, still we need more people.
Yeah. No, I mean that is crazy. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Who's here? Who's at Marijwa for them to still need more people if Shamrock, isn't enough reinforcement?
I definitely think it, like y'all were saying earlier, and as much as Callie's dismay, I do think it's probably Dragon.
It might
most
actually
likely.
be Dragon himself. Yeah.
Man, yeah.
He's the only character that has enough leeway to be that much of a problem because we don't know anything about him, and important enough to do something like that.
I hope he shows out. I hope it is him and he shows out, and then
It's literally now or never, right? Like,
I know it has to be, right? It has to be, because like if it's not, I mean, I'm going to be hella disappointed next week. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if we'll
think we're
even
going to see it.
Yeah.
I'm about to say I don't even think we're going to see it
No,
next
that's
week.
true.
It's either we're either going to see it via flashback or we're going to see it like way later down the line.
Ooh. Question for y'all then. What do you think is gonna happen next? Do you guys think Luffy's gonna pop up, right? And then Emu's gonna see a glimpse of Gear 5 Luffy,
I would love that. Yeah.
I would like that, but the way this, I ain't gonna hold you. The way this is kind of paneled out in terms of like Emu taking over Gunko, Jinbei and Nami and them kind of like not
Incapacitated,
yeah,
Gaban just getting
incapacitated.
fallen down. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
exactly what you
and
mean.
the other Holy Knights like kind of in disarray a little bit, especially
Yeah.
what's his face. I can just see Emu just snapping everybody back just instantly or something like that.
Well, I feel
And
like this bottom like the words allow me to show you the dominance of God. I feel like
Yeah,
he's
they're
gonna
do
drop. He's
something.
gonna
Do
like do like a
something.
fucking Thanos snap, like
he
real
might
quick. He's
do
gonna obliterate the people around him and then leave.
Also,
okay,
cur-
yeah, I can see that. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't see. I'm not gonna hold you. I do not see Luffy meeting Emu right
I
now
think that
because
makes a lot of
it's
sense.
the speed of everything happening is too fast. You got Chopper and Kaban falling all the way down, which we know they're going to survive that. But like,
But I mean, I can
by the
still see
time they get
Luffy
down there,
coming up though. Like I could because of everything popping off right now. Luffy has that instincts, right? So I feel like he maybe feels like the shit going off right now, and he's heading there on the way. And what if he grabs them
nah.
on the way up? I
Elbaph
don't
is
know.
huge.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
but
There's a lot of
it's a what
distance.
if. It's a lot of what if. But
Yeah, I'm about to say because the one reason why I say a nah is because Luffy couldn't even sense when the he couldn't sense when they teleported when the Holy Knights teleported onto the land, but Scopper Kaban did, and I just don't think. I don't think Luffy's observation. Well, I'm not saying he can't sense nothing. Obviously, he can, but I think when he's just not focused, he's just not. All of this is happening under his nose, like all
that's
this.
true.
Like,
I think that's really what it is that he's doing something right now. Like I think the whole underworld thing is gonna be its own separate plot for the time being. I'm sure that eventually I think when the two merge, I think it's gonna be all of them that are in the underworld together
Okay.
coming back up. You know what I'm saying?
I also agree with Mon. I
Yeah.
feel like this is like a point for Oda to kind of reset a little bit. But again, the question is like they definitely like all this what's the word I'm looking for? Progress they've made in burning the library, kidnapping the kids. Like what is Imu just gonna like give up on this?
No, but you
Or
know what?
is-
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to say before, and this goes back to one of my original theories: is that Emu is gonna succeed. Emu, the Holy Knights are gonna succeed and have the Giants on the government side here, because I think this is a perfect opportunity for Emu to do just that. If he comes in, wipes everybody in the field, takes all the kids to the Holy Knight, right to the Holy Land right now, what happens with the Giants?
They're gonna have to follow through.
They give up, yeah.
They give up, and all of a sudden, Luffy and the gang are surrounded by enemies with Loki on their side, and I could definitely see the story moving in a direction like that.
And then the new giant pirates are the only ones who don't.
Right? Because they, exactly. I could definitely
But
see
then
a
how does
situation
that,
like that.
if that was to happen, how does the plot even get? I mean, I obviously I'm not in Oda's head, but I just can't imagine how the plot gets resolved at that point, where Emu is snatching up all the kids and taking them back with him. Like, how do you get them back? The Giants are going to be forever.
But that's the thing,
like,
that we know that this isn't. They're not trying to get the Giants for any moment at this, like right in this second, even in this arc necessarily. They're trying to get the Giants for the coming war. So this could be an overarching plot that goes into the final saga. You know what I'm saying? Where now Luffy and the gang have to get back together and get the fuck out of here, as opposed to, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, if that was to happen, I ain't gonna hold you. I'll be a little salty because
I agree with you, Mod.
That's fair.
Like, because
that's fair.
Elbaph had a lot more. Like, there was so many different loose threads, ties. Like, kid coming here, Shanks, Big Mom. Like, hey, you telling me we just gotta leave at that point? Like, that's
not to say that I think that. If that's the direction that it goes, that's not to say that, because they're still separated. If that were to happen, there would be a whole island of giants in between them. That's not to say that they would just grab everybody and literally get out, and that would be the end of the arc. You know what I'm saying? Even if that is the current objective, because things could still change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It doesn't.
Yeah, but
even
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that. So it makes sense that if it goes one way, it doesn't mean it has to like do every like it doesn't have to be like the conclusion of everything.
Right.
They just said like they
It
might.
feels. I'm sorry, Wallace. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I agree with you. That's how I went the first time.
That feels pretty conclusive because here's the thing: kids getting snatched up and kidnapped. I don't see a low point at any point to where some things cool off and then you go into another plot. You have to address that like ASAP.
I agree.
That's
If the kids get
that-
taken off Elbaph and they make the Holy Land, they definitely lost the allies.
yeah, there's no extra plot after that. That's kind of definitive. You can never imagine the Giants just being like Luffy and they'll be like, "Okay, Giants, calm down. Like we'll get the kids someday." And they're like, "Oh," man. And then like go and get Shanks, and then Shanks come in and then like, "Oh,
Well,
no, that's an immediate." Response. That's immediate plot. Like that can't be like ignored at any point. At any point, Nami's not going to leave and let that happen. Nami probably might be like, "We're going to Marine Jar right now, right this second," like that type thing. Like I can never see the kids getting off that island, and it's just like any other plot thing happening after that. Anything like that.
I also don't think the kids have to be taken off the island for like the Giants to kind of like. Agree with like or surrender to Emu right now. Like it could be a thing where Emu and the Gods Knights kind of play defense with the hostages of the kids, and Luffy and the Straws have to deal with that while still being on Elbaph. But the arc can still end with them saving the kids and returning the Giants to their side or whatever. They don't have to disappear for this to be like a hostage situation arc.
No, I mean, because that's what it's already. It's a hostage situation right now. Like,
yeah.
What it is more or less already.
Yeah, but taking them off the island though, that's pretty. That's that's pretty definitive.
I agree.
It feels
I think if it gets to that point, I think there's a lot to be like that's a little bit final. But I think it might not get to that point also, and still the kind of situation Kelly's talking about might still kind of occur where the Giants are like, "Yo, what choice do we have?" Right?
Well, so I will say I do agree about that with the hostages and stuff, but like just the way that Emu is talking though right now, like asking about what's taking so long, like at this moment, the Holy Land is on fire, there's it seems a little desperate, right? Like there's desperation, like things are happening, and the fact that I'm confused as to why they went with Mu and they didn't say Emu, but
they did that before with versus against Cobra too. They just decided to put themselves for some weird reason.
Okay. But the fact that they use the words like the dominance of God, right? And like Gunko's powers are crazy, so she can make big things. So like what if like to show a great big attack, like what if like somehow she cuts the tree of Elbaph, right? And like that just caused mass panic. You take care of everything. People go in and die. You take care of the history that still burns because it's on fire, and then you just get your Holy Knights and get out of there. And that just shows like dominance, like that's something something a god would do. You know what I mean?
I'm okay with that actually.
Emu's very sure, like into themselves and like think of them as god as they've been shown. So I'm just thinking like they're gonna do like a grand big attack type of thing to show that,
and then just leave and then leave the kids and then that is
because fuck it, just take care of everything.
You know what? Reading this now, I'm kind of a little bit more sold on my theory, man. I'm not gonna lie, because reading this now, the Emu says, "What's taking so long? Holy Land's in the Sea of Fire. We need greater numbers." I feel like saying what's taking so long is in response to the mission at hand, which is to get the Giants on their side. We need greater numbers, I feel, is more of an allusion to needing the Giants than needing the Holy Knights back.
No, I don't think I can agree with that just because of. Actually, it could go either way. Actually,
it could go either way. I can't dismiss what Kelly is saying, because what you say does make sense. But like, what if this is actually happening at the moment? Like, what if they mean right now? You know what I mean? Like, you're thinking of like, we need greater numbers for the future, what's to come. But like that future's here right now, so like shit's popping off. That's how I took it.
I feel like that at this moment, and Kelly, you said it yourself that they want the Giants for what's next and not right now. I feel like that we need greater numbers is referring to calling back the Holy Knights.
That's fair.
Because they already did it with Shamrock, right?
Yeah. But
I still agree with you. I still think that there's a lot of possibility that they kind
It
of.
could go. It could go that way.
I see
Emu-
what you mean.
Emu-
It could
Emu-
go either way. I see.
I think
Yeah.
Emu's gonna expedite the. I don't think Emu's gonna give up on the kids and burning the library. I think Emu's gonna expedite the process.
Yeah.
But again, I think I still agree with Mod though. I think them getting off the island and actually getting away is too far for this arc. Because, like again, there's so much left. I feel like there's so much left, kind of promised for us for this arc. You know, with Loki, just all the Usopp stuff. There's just way too much. You know.
Yeah,
So.
there's so much, right? The Frankie, Adam, like there's Vegapunk, like there's just too much writing on this arc for it to end like this and to call it a day because of how crazy it would be if Emu just snatched the kids up, like teleported them away, full blown kidnapping. I think because you can never take a kidnapping of kids and once we see it and move it as like a B plot. You can't move it into the background. It's going into something else. That has to be addressed. Like,
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
That's the A plot.
I'm still confused.
No matter what happens.
I'm confused. I agree with the point that you guys are making up until the point where you guys say that is the finality of the arc. If that happens, I don't understand why can't Usopp get it's really Huss and Mod, but why can't Usopp have his moment and the Loki stuff unravel and all these things happen after the kids get kidnapped off the island?
I think because we assume that the Giants are going to be hostile to Luffy and them. Like Elbaph will not be an environment like it's basically them against the world in Elbaph, right? If that's the case, and I think it's possible. Like I don't think it's an impossibility, but it's like how do we resolve? Because even if we leave this island, like we failed them, the Giants, right? Because their kids are fucking hostages. You know what I mean? I'm in that sense. That's why. I feel
and they were
like
already they were already being like, they were infighting. They were infighting already when the kids got taken. Like, oh, we should save the kids, and they're like, no, we need to save the library. Are you telling me the kids are you telling me that the library is more important than the kids? And like that's already happening. So if they get snatched up, like legitimately kidnapped, there's no more. Basically, let me put it like this: if those kids are gone, the stability of Elbaph turns to shit to such a degree that there will be no more exploration to anything because of the hostileness that the Giants will present because kids got kidnapped. So they most likely would have to leave the island, or every single little thing that we want to be addressed at Elbaph will have to come
I ain't gonna lie. I need to know exactly what you guys want out of this arc. So and to see that, because I really can't see it. I don't understand what you guys want from this arc that can't still happen if they get taken. I need to know what you guys want to see. I don't get affected by that specifically.
I don't think stuff like Mod said. Like I don't think we can say that stuff can't happen. But I feel like the Elbaph being a hostile environment inhibits the exploration that he's talking about, like seeing what that lab was that Vegapunk was at, seeing the mural and having it explained to them.
Frankie's connection with the Atom Tree, Usopp's rise to prominence, and I don't think his rise to prominence is supposed to be taking out a bunch of giants. I don't think that's necessarily what that is supposed to entail for Usopp's
I think that last one is a little more subjective, if anything. I don't think that's like, because it could necessarily be not taken out by giants, but that doesn't necessarily have to be resolved through gaining valor with the giants. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody expects, of course, because that's, you know what I'm saying. But that's not necessarily how it might go down at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It might not. You're right, but I'm just. It would be weird. I ain't gonna hold you. I can't imagine. It'd be a weird image to see Usopp becoming the thing he wants through taking out giants. Like that would be kind of like taking out the good giants of Elbaph that he respects and cares about.
That's also to say that every single giant on the island is going to, because like you even just said, the giants were infighting within themselves before the children got kidnapped. So it's not even to say that all of them are going to be 100% even with listening to the government in the first place. Some of them might be ready to take up arms and rebel, and might even, some of the characters that we've seen that we have names for, like Ange, Ripley, etc., they might even still be on Luffy's side. And if that's the case, we can still get a lot of the exposition that you guys want to get from the arc.
Well, hold on. Wait.
Wait. Before you go, Callie, name me one of the guy giants real quick. God giant in there, bro.
Yo, you got it, bro. Yo, you got it.
That was crazy.
Hey, Mister, just shut that whole shit down.
Yo, the baddies are gonna be on our side, man.
Nah,
That's all that matters,
bro. I swear to God, bro.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
No,
that was a good one. That was a good one.
we needed that. We needed that, Loki. Okay, Callie, can I ask? Callie, can I ask you, if Elbaph, like if Emu, because okay, first off, I just want to say that another thing about this whole plan of theirs is that they can't teleport the kids. That's like their big bottleneck, right? So they have to either way get them onto a boat and try to sail away. So there's still gonna be some conflict there. It's not. It won't really end up being like the fucking. I've been reading My Hero. You know the warp guy, like how they just disappear.
Just teleport. Yeah.
Like it's not just gonna be like that, right? But Callie, if the Giants, if Elbaph ends with the nation of Elbaph on the world government side, do you see that as a possibility because of the kids getting kidnapped and being Amrijois?
Do I see it? Do I see the arc ending with the Giants on the world government side?
Yeah, like Luffy and them leave in the end, but the nation of Elbaph is like, because they have their kids hostage. Is that
I think it's a possibility. Yes, I do think it's a possibility.
And then, like you said, Loki would be leaving with them. Like, that could definitely be a possibility. I mean,
I agree, it's definitely possible. But I think here's what I think, and again, this is like subjective and also like about like kind of metagaming the idea of One Piece arcs, in the sense that like they left Egghead, and Egghead they kind of failed. Like Vegapunk died.
Well.
No, not really, because Vegapunk just said, I lived in Lilith and now I'm still alive, and there's...
But to Luffy, Luffy thinks he failed. He cried for 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I mean,
true, he did. You're right.
The old man
Vegapunk. It didn't matter
Vegapunk.
what Lilith said. Yeah. Right.
And also, they don't even. I don't think they know for sure about the other Vegapunks in the sky, like the fucking.
No, they don't. But Luffy's not gonna understand that shit anyway. Like,
and again, because again, the question of Egghead was, what does death even mean, right? That's a big question of it. But my point is that I feel like it would be wild and not Oda. Like I'd be surprised. And again, I don't mean to say it won't happen, but it would be surprising to me and kind of like Oda stepping out of his the way he works if they leave Elbaph and it's like a loss, like in the sense of like we failed those people, especially with Luffy being like this is Luffy's first real Yonko arc, you know, like Egghead was the coming out party in a lot of senses.
Bro,
but
I think Egghead was the first real Yonko arc. I don't agree with that at all.
But they got saved. This is what I mean. Like Egghead, like they had to get saved from all the Gorosei by Emmett and even Stussy and Atlas, right?
Okay.
But there's a lot of non-Yonko shit going down, right? I feel like Elbaph, and especially the significance of it, the Sun God aspect of it, there's just so much to where I feel like Luffy is gonna. Like it's all gonna go, you know, like happily ever after, you know, like Luffy's gonna like use Gear 5 to save everyone.
Plus on top of that, like building on what Huss talked about, what you asked earlier about what is there that we need to still what foundations do need to be addressed in order for and what capacity to where the island would not be hostile for them to be able to do that. It's still like you still got Big Mom, you still got Shanks coming in. Shanks coming in to hostile giants. Like that don't seem right, because that seemed like when
they
Shanks
wouldn't be hostile towards who? I mean, I guess they could be depending on the world government's orders, right?
Any enemies of the world government.
Any enemies,
sure.
No, that's fair.
I
think that'd be pro-conflict though. Like everything you said could still happen if they leave. Like you're saying stuff that could still happen if the kids get kidnapped. Like you might not
Yeah,
want
I'm
it
not
to
saying
happen
it-
like that, and I'm saying, but it is that's what I'm saying is that it's a possibility. I'm not even like I'm saying
it is a
could,
possibility,
like, you know what I'm
but
saying?
it feels very unlikely, like very, because there's a lot of things like Why has talked about that's still riding on us being able to at least somewhat be able to peacefully explore Elbaph and everyone's individual journeys. Like we just got so many cliffhangers that it felt like the Frankie thing, the Robin thing. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to the library at this point, but like if they may even be able to save one book or not. But still, Robin,
Bro.
you know, Chopper's potential stuff, you know, Vegapunk.
Bro. All of this can still happen if they kidnap the kids, bro.
Bruh.
Like I don't want to keep going in circles, but like that.
Yeah,
we are
going.
I don't even think we
like,
disagree. Like you're definitely right. It's definitely a possibility.
That's what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like everything could happen. Like even it's unlikely. Sure, I'll give it, but I think that the
Okay, as
story
long as you
points to
admit it's
ways that
unlikely,
it's
I think
possible.
I'm fine with that. I think I'm fine with that
Oh.
because it's just like I don't know. In my mind, I guess I'm just getting too attached to the situation because it's like if kids getting kidnapped, to me in my mind, that's just like all hands on deck at that point because like you don't want to leave that unresolved whatsoever.
Yeah,
I also think
I
what I say, I just think it's such an utter failure for this shot. I would be shocked if we leave Elbaph and it's like, wow, we fucked up that hard.
That'd be like what, the second time, right? Because
in a row too.
That's really what I wanted to say about the metagaming thing.
Not just that, but also like because they also had to save kids before in Punk Hazard. You know what I mean? So like, I'm over the hostage thing. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait till we get this over with so we could get things going.
Here's what I want to say
know how
earlier.
upset Nami would be? I don't even know how Nami would react.
Man, what is Nami gonna do? Throw loose and get it reversed on her again? Like what is that
No,
gonna do?
No, you talking about
I was like, uncalled for, bro.
I'm just saying that's exactly what just happened. Like, see what I'm saying? That's what happened. Like, her being upset isn't gonna change what, like,
But it changes means I'm sure it means in the sense that like it's like not gonna be something she wants to move on from.
No, of course that she's not. But I just part of me doesn't think that's gonna happen. I think something like Imu's gonna do something, but then I do think we're gonna see like Luffy and Loki do something. Like they were sleeping, getting ready for a big moment. Like, so that's what I think is gonna happen. Because
here's what I wanted to say
it's
about
definitely not done anytime soon.
Yeah,
I agree, and I think one thing about like because like last few chapters we've been talking about what might happen, how it might resolve, and this chapter is when I really got the sense of like the end of Egghead when like Kuma pulled up and the Saturn appeared and then all 5 Gorosei appeared. My nigga, we have the crazier version of that. This is Imu walking on planet Earth right now. Obviously it's through Gunko's body, but like this is the crazy type of because that to me was the craziest part of Egghead. We left Egghead. I truly felt like I could never ever predict what's gonna happen in One Piece ever again. And this chapter gave me the same sense of that in Elbaph, where like, holy shit, we never thought we would see this. This wasn't an option we had in mind, right?
Yeah.
For Imu to appear through Gunko's body. So I think it goes to show what Callie's saying. Anything is fucking possible. And them walking away from an arc with the Elbaph giants being on their side is always a possibility. So yeah, I just think all this proving it. Like,
anything is definitely possible. Anything is 100% possible. I agree for sure.
Question for you guys though. So clearly we see that the Holy Knights, Gorosei are all tied to Imu, right?
Yep.
So do you guys think that the Holy Knights are like more under control of Imu because Imu was able to control them, or do you think that Imu would be able to control the Gorosei? Because I don't understand why Imu didn't do that if that was the case in Egghead. You know what I mean?
You want me to give you a quick example or a quick reason? Bro, because he's the one in danger now. Well, I don't know, but danger is the right word, but like, I think the fact that the problems are at home.
I see what you mean. I see. Okay. I see.
And also, I feel like they keep underestimating Luffy in them.
Most definitely. That's
well. Also, again, Luffy also just keeps getting saved by crazy, extraordinary circumstances. So I don't blame them. But again, I just think he's like, yo, if you niggas can't handle it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys better fucking handle this shit in terms of the Gorosei. I think the God's Eyes, he probably feels more humble stepping, more like acceptable to step in because they're like just lackeys, kind of. I feel the Gorosei are less like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think he's more comfortable stepping in. I do think he probably could step in to the Gorosei as well, though.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a reason to say he can't.
I feel like the Gorosei are like like captains, while I guess the Holy Knights are more like the private guard, right? I guess.
1,000%, 1,000%. They're like agents.
Okay, all right.
I definitely agree with you.
I was just curious what you guys thought, because
I wanted to ask about the Holy Knights in the sense that, so again, Garling, we saw him at God's Valley 40 years ago, and he was way younger, and now he's an old man. Summers, we know that Scopper Gaban probably saw him at God's Valley because he said a long time no see this, like last chapter. So I'm wondering, maybe I don't know if he, and he didn't really make a remark on his age or his appearance, so maybe Summers was a bit younger then because he's still an old man now. But my question is Gunko.
Yeah.
Because the Holy Knights have the regeneration that the Gorosei have, but Garland grew old.
Yeah.
But Gunko, he said, Brook says she really, the resemblance is uncanny. That's what he says in this chapter. But that was over 50 years ago because he died 50 years ago, right? So my question is, do the God's Knights have immortality and regeneration? Just regeneration? Is immortality a function of Imu's thing, or is it the ability to Opi no Mi? I just feel like those are some inconsistencies that we're gonna explain at some point.
I do think that in some way, shape, or form, Gunko is a special case. It may not be in relation to what we were talking about earlier, but I think in some way, shape, or form, Gunko is definitely a special case compared to the rest of the God's Knights. So I feel like something within her may be different than the rest of them.
Real quick, I think the difference might be that she was raised by them, or like in that system. You know what I mean? To become a Holy Knight type of thing.
I feel like she wasn't born specifically a Holy Knight.
Yeah, maybe like because I feel like Shamrock, right? Celestial Dragon, father's already a Holy Knight, so
Summers is related to Shepherd Jupiter.
Meanwhile, Gunko is taken. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Meanwhile, Gunko is taken from whatever island or whatever, right, and like raised that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's definitely some sort of
thing.
interest.
Yeah. Like, that's why they won't give Gunko the Saint moniker type of thing.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. That would definitely make a lot of sense.
Kind of like in a similar, in a way, like Koala with the Fishman. In a way, but you know, with the Holy Knights.
Yeah, like reverse brainwashing. Yeah.
Exactly.
I see the vision.
Yeah.
So we never got to talk about it fully this chapter, but out of curiosity, do y'all have any guesses as to like what Scopper Gaban was doing to be able to cut what's his name, Summers?
Definitely something related with the Haki, because you see his like streaks of Haki. Like, you don't see his blade. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's black and white. We don't know any colors yet, so I don't want to say much. But you do see some like lightning coming off of him when he attacks Summers, but nothing crazy. Like, seems more like controlled, like a concentrated like attack of it. But I don't know.
No, did you see Morge's Tuesday video last week?
No, I actually missed it.
He made a video. He made a video about this specific thing, and his idea was it was infusing Haki into the attack in terms of like putting the Haki through them, and infusing it into the target, and that's why it doesn't. It basically the Haki, like disables them from regenerating. And he said it's the same concept of the knot that Emmett used that Joy Boy gave him. That's what Joy Boy infused Haki into that. It's the same concept of black blades, and it's the same concept of why the poneglyphs are unbreakable. And I was like, yo, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Wait, so Haki. He's talking about like literally putting like just like the knot with the robot and stuff like that. We talking about
kind of like Hunter x Hunter, how Jing, I don't know who's worried about Hunter x Hunter in 2025, but Jing putting his Nen into the Greed Island box and the ring and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's activating like 10 years later or whatever. Kind of like that. And I was like, you know what? I think that's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
A lot of things that we don't have an answer to, very succinctly.
That is a good idea, but do you think he's like? Because here's the thing: when he did the cut, and you know the first cut we saw on the page, Scopper said, "I'm rusty," right? Yep. So to him, that wasn't good enough. So.
No, yeah. Fact.
Even if he's putting Haki, like if you can do that, right, where you can not infuse Haki into your not infuse Haki into your weapon, but literally put it into your weapons or objects or whatever, like place it in there like a pocket. Is it like something that you can just do and then just like leave and then just it acted? Because we saw the robot, he just pulled it and it had the same potency as Joy Boy himself, apparently. Yeah. So it was the same, attack potency. But if that's
because the knot might be a special case, because the knot, if you guys, I didn't remember this. I just remember the first time we saw the Conqueror's Haki knot, people were like, oh, it's just like Nami's time skip island when they were showing her the wind knot, how like the people up there, those sky people, had a knot where they opened it and it contained a lot of wind. I think it might have been a mix of those two things, because I think the knot might be a bit of a special case. But there's like Black Blaze, for example, that dude, what's his name? Kaido was like, why do I sense? I know Enma's on a Black Blade, but he's like, yo, why do I sense Kozuki Oden's Haki from that attack when there's the attack when Big Mom told him to dodge Zoro's air slice or whatever. So there's stuff where like we definitely see where Haki has retained itself, and I'm like, I think it explains a lot of stuff. So I think infusing Haki into the attack and then versus the regeneration, using it to infuse it into the opponent, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. For what the answer is, at least compared to anything I've seen.
It feels too similar to. I mean, I get where you're coming like
from,
with that, right? But it feels
like a little
too similar to Rio.
That's literally what I was thinking this whole time. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro.
I think Rio is like a shockwave. I feel like the way it was being described in this idea was like infusing it and like having it stick there at least for a little bit. Because I mean, Summers is not gonna be a fucking torso for the whole arc, right? I think it's gonna wear off and it'll be able to regenerate. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't assume that he's gonna be like this for the rest of the arc.
You don't think he just like cauterized him like a lightsaber type of thing?
Well, he said ow to show that he's alive.
He's alive, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but he just stays like that, like like
imagine. He's like one arm and a torso. He's just like in a wheelchair.
Going forward.
And he's still fighting. He just still uses his over and shit.
Connects his body with vines and shit.
PG that with his leg, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Always possible. But I do agree. It's kind of like Rio. But again, I think this is the best answer I've seen. And also it is similar to Rio, but I would say like there's a little bit of difference. But again, semantics.
I get the little difference. I kind of hope. I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of hope that. Okay, is it weird for me to say that I hope that idea that is brought up is true, but I hope that that's not the case with this in particular. That's
very fair.
Because I think that this is like my thing is that I hope Oda is just not rehashing that idea with like just very, very tiny little subtle differences, because we already have a hard time to finding out what Haki move people are using half the time between Conquerors, Haki, and all that. And now you're telling me we might even have a harder time distinguishing between Rio and something like this. Like it's just I kind of need Oda to branch out a little bit more than that.
I literally don't disagree with you. I've been a Haki is getting centralized person for a while. So I'm just
I feel like this also go against, because I know you guys were.
I was saying about the Straw Hats. Yep.
Yeah, like a few episodes ago, you guys were like, I hope it's not something super Haki, so that all the Straw Hats have the opportunity to fight the Holy Knights and
sadly,
them.
my hope and my expectations are not the same thing.
Exactly. Like I hope that too, but like it looks like it is a Haki thing, or at least appearance wise,
especially that
like
cut in half.
Thing.
Yeah,
not just that, but the fact that Chopper's the one that's going to go realize it, because I wouldn't expect Chopper to be the one to learn it, but he's the one that's going after fucking Scooper Gaban to figure out how he did this, right?
That is a good point.
To let everyone know. So
yeah.
I would expect fucking Zoro, right? But I mean that's not the case. His son Chopper is on the way.
I mean, but that could be part of the tension if it is something Haki based. You give it to somebody who can't use Haki, so now the stair mission to find Zoro, Sanji, Luffy.
No, do you guys think? So you guys think like Chopper and Gaban don't land like right on top of Luffy, like they land somewhere else? And
no, I think that's too coincidental.
Yeah, I think
that's way too coincidental.
They think they won't
were to
land.
No, if they
I
were
think
to
it has
land
to be
literally right next to Luffy and them, I think that's a little bit too happenstance for me. I can't lie.
Yeah, I agree. It would be cool if we see Chopper turn into his big form, and
That would be
like
cool.
scoop.
That's a cool way to write it so that
Yeah.
you can get those two characters together without it just he happened to land next to Luffy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, like Luffy and them see like Chopper going big somewhere like far off or
Yeah,
whatever.
I actually like that idea a lot.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like Attack on Titan-ish in a way where you see him like transform.
But do they even? They don't know. Do they know what Luffy and them are? Does anybody know what they are?
No, I
Now that I
think
think about
Nami
it.
knows. That's about it.
Nami?
Yeah,
'Cause wasn't
Chopper
Nami there?
wouldn't know though.
Wasn't Nami there? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
but Chopper wouldn't know, so he doesn't even know that they're down there. Actually, now that I think about it, so it's really just gonna be him and Gaban for real, unless they happen to run into Luffy and them.
Or yeah, I mean also if Chopper like he does transform and yells like that big roar, because remember everyone heard
Yeah.
him roar when he first transformed, but ever since then he'd never turned the same. Like I really liked his monster point form a lot pre-time skip
Yeah,
before he learned how to control it. But
Well, they have him like a fucking being a glorified mascot, brother. like these days, I feel like
I'm just saying though, like
I hate it.
if the fact they see fuck shit, Chopper's over there turning monster point right now. What the fuck's going on? then next thing you know, Sanji, Luffy, and them are on their way.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
we'll see. I can't wait for next chapter, dude. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm so glad there's no break next week, man.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes.
glad there's no break next week. And
Bro,
I also
I
feel
hope-
like because there's probably gonna be a break after next week. Next
Yeah.
week is gonna be some crazy shit too. I can't lie.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, shout out to the Mandem in the chat for saying don't get spoiled because I definitely
Yeah.
was careful, and it was honestly nuts. I did two of the last two bits of the chapter were both like life changing ass moments. So
Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't get spoiled. That's real.
yeah, the thing about I was gonna say because Mods credited me for the Gunko thing and like just talking about her potential brainwash or whatever. Because dude, she kicked Brook that one chapter and her like grabbed her own heart. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo. Bro, what is this, bro? I'm like, yo, she's like, it hurt her like emotionally to do that shit. So I that was my tell, I think. But I also wanted to say that I like that they keep showing that Scalper Gaban has really good observation hockey because he did future sight in this chapter.
Yeah.
Which puts him in like a group of like 5 people that have used it on screen. I think it's like Katakuri, Shanks, Kaido, Luffy, and now him. But I just think it's so cool because it's like Sanji's the 3rd member and he's also a specialist in observation hockey. So I think it's cool that this little like parallel keeps being brought up. That's the last thing I want to say.
That's cool.
No, yeah.
That's definitely
It is
cool. I'm here for
Uh,
Sanji getting future sight. I can't lie. I want to see my boy weaving and ducking.
Yeah,
He-
I mean,
dude,
that-
he I hope he does use it. I feel like it makes the most sense for him, even more than Zoro.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
100%. He's always had that foresight in general.
No, he always. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it, right? Any last questions, comments, concerns?
No, the case for Brook becoming being a holy knight originally is growing by each chapter.
I need you to stop using the word holy knife to describe that position, bro. It's first breaking my ankles, bro. I think you mean Gaza. You know what I mean? Like it's like, does he mean?
He was just
Gaza
a knight.
is-
He was a knight.
Oh,
He was a
that's-
royal
Oh,
knight.
yeah.
A royal knight, yeah.
man.
Well, I think he was the precursor, and then he became a part, and then now, there's definitely a connection there. That's all I'm saying. There's
No,
definitely
I see the vision. That's the vision. The rapier thing was fire. That was a
yeah.
big connection. Like,
Except for Killingham, damn you, Killingham, you son of a bitch.
All right, I guess that's gonna be it. Big shout outs to everybody that hung out with us today. Appreciate all you guys watching live. If you don't, make sure you do every Sunday. Twitch.tv/Cali_Mac or YouTube at Straw Hat Sit Down. You feel me? Every Sunday, come check us out. Show us some love. Big shout outs to everybody watching this after the fact on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Pod, etc. We appreciate you guys as well. Make sure you guys follow us on all our socials at Straw Hat Sit Down on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. You look for us, you will find us.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's about
Yes,
it.
sir.
All right. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. For those of you that do get one, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Much love to all you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Until next time, you guys take it easy, be safe, be healthy, and we will see y'all when we see y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Straw hat, sit down, crew in the building. We Corona to these other podcasts. We gon' put these people in their feelings when they hear this, and they know that they can't top this. We spit facts and we poppin' every time an episode is dropping. We see D3 in the corner, Mister, that's a real G with the green screen in the background. Got him looking like he in a real scene. We got Big Mod in the cut, always ready with rebuttals, but he bring the knowledge when we in the huddle, so you know the crew is never gonna fumble. And it's why us, last but not least, if you ask me, then Cali, mad at Captain, make him rally around me. Every Sunday we gon' run deep, and we can't stop until we find out about that one piece. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one piece? We are. Who gon' get down? We are. This that straw hat, sit down. We are. Who the crew with the fleet? We are. Who gon' piece that one?